Welcome everyone to another episode of My Blessing in Disguise 2020, a series of interviews with really interesting people who are up to really amazing, interesting and inspiring things in the world. So as it says on the tin, we have conversations and we reflect around 2020, what happened, what we learned from the experience of this year, what we gained, instead of focusing on what we lost, what we gained, what we learned, and what we're taking with us to moving forward to 2021. So today I have really amazing guests. I'm so excited to introduce Shayna Alnwick to you. Shay is an entrepreneur. She is a furniture artist. That's such a cool job title, by the way. Shay is, we met this year. Shay moved to the coolest neighborhood in Glasgow, Scotland this year. We are basically neighbors. So I really got to know you a little bit better, even though we never got to properly hang out because of the lockdown. But I got to actually see you working outside in your garden, and we sometimes would have chats, walking dogs, and so I would like you to actually introduce yourself to everyone who's watching, because you're probably the best at doing it. What would you like us to know about you?
Well, hello, I'm Shayna Alnwick, as you mentioned, and I am, I guess, what you would call a furniture artist. Now, I don't know if there's a specific title for what I do, or if I just made it up in my head, but that's what I do, and it's what I created during this whole lockdown mental breakdown extravaganza. So I guess Basha will go more into detail about what I do in a bit, and I'll talk to y'all more about that as well. But I am clearly not from Scotland by the accent. I'm American born, but I guess I'm more so UK bred now, because I've been here for about 6 years, and I've definitely transformed into the whole culture over here. So it's a good place to be. But so we've, like she said before, we are neighbors, but we've never got to actually hang out as neighbors because the world hasn't let us do that recently. So we made the best of a bad situation, haven't we?
Yes, exactly. And we will as well. So tell me how. I'm actually curious, before we go on to like what happened and like what you created in like this year in the lockdown, I would like you to tell me a little bit, what did you used to do before moving to Glasgow, and before the lockdown, and what life was like before?
Oh gosh. Well, I have probably had every job under the planet since I was about 15 years old, and that is no joke of a lie. So talking about lockdown, before lockdown, I just moved to a place in England called Lytham St. Anne's, which is a beautiful little village on the coastal line, gorgeous, quaint little place. And I was a waitress at a steakhouse. And I wanted to do that because I was new to the area, and I thought there wouldn't be a better job to meet all the locals than work at a restaurant that they go to every single weekend. So I wanted to work there, get to know the community, get to know the people, and as a matter of fact, I did. And I met everybody that lived there. Everybody knew who each other was, everybody knew each other's neighbors and all their business, but it was a good group of people, and I loved it. Now, obviously with lockdown, restaurants, not allowed to open. They had to shut, which means I got put onto furlough, and I had nothing to do during lockdown because I couldn't work from home. I couldn't virtually serve steaks to people through Zoom calls. So, I mean, to say the least, I was going a bit crazy. But going back to before lockdown, I mean, life was good. We went to work all the time, got to live near the beach, got to go, meet all my neighbors, and life was normal. And I guess being put into lockdown like everybody else, it has just made you think of all the ways to occupy yourself and all the ways to stay busy. And that's kind of something that I had to put into gear because my job was no longer something I was able to do. So yeah, definitely changing.
Yeah. So you found yourself in a space, as I think as many of us did, that you suddenly can't do the job that you were doing, and you have all this time in the world, and you actually can't go out and just even spend this time doing the kind of things that you love doing, maybe like hanging with friends, or
Yeah,
I don't know, sightseeing or whatever,
I know. Yeah.
So what's going on in your head at that point? Like, if I know you already a little bit, and you're quite a sociable person, you're really
Yeah.
outgoing. So I'm guessing you're a little bit of an extrovert, maybe. Is this right thing to say about you?
I consider myself an introverted extrovert. I
Right.
love my own company. I love being at home with my dogs and my husband, and that is, to me, is like the best day ever. But then
Okay.
again, you have to have that dose where you have to be outside and around people. And when I'm out there, I feel like I just flourish. I love talking. I love being with people. I like connecting with new people as well. So
Mhm.
not being able to connect with anybody and not having a job to work from home for during that time where I could speak to people through the computer and whatnot. I didn't have that like most people do working from home. So, I mean, honestly, it got to the point where I would start barking like my dogs because I had nobody else to talk to but my dogs and my husband. I was like, we need people, we need things to do. So yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Different situation.
So from that, the idea for your new business was born.
Yeah.
Do you
So
want to speak to that a little bit
sure,
more?
yeah. So basically, um, this must have been, lockdown happened in March, April, May. This must have been towards the end of May. So about 2.5 months into lockdown. Obviously, 2.5 months is a very long time to just be in the house and, try to occupy yourself, stay busy. The amount of jigsaw puzzles I did, I couldn't even write down the number of them. My neighbor, we had this little Facebook like neighborhood forum, and people post things for free or just chat neighborhood news. And somebody said, I'm giving this little mini wardrobe away if anybody wants it. And at that point, I thought we were staying down in, like, I didn't have any recollection of us moving or anything like that, so I thought we were going to stay there. So I thought, yeah, I'll just pick up this wardrobe on my daily walk and just take it home and just use it in like this little cubby space that I had. Well, when I got it, I just was staring at it and thought, like, this does not match my house at all, but it is the perfect size for the space that I need. And I have nothing else to do, so I'll just use whatever paint I have and just start to paint it. So during lockdown, we had some beautiful summer weather, which we don't have now, unfortunately. So I went outside, I made like this little painting station, had like all my little paints and brushes out, and I just went to work on it. And little did I know how much that wardrobe needed me and how much I needed that wardrobe. Because that was when I realized it was like therapy almost. Like something just clicked in my head where I was like, I have never just felt this relaxed and this less stressed as I felt at that moment when I was just painting. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, maybe a bit corny, but something in me was just like, oh my gosh, like this feels right. And this is relaxing and calming. And at that moment, I was just kind of like, okay, I love this. I need to find more things to paint. So, lo and behold, wardrobe dries, fixed it up, put it in its spot, absolutely loved it. Was searching the rest of the forums every day for new things to be posted. And at that point, we only had our 1 hour exercise a day. So I would just pick whatever I had up on the sidewalk and take it home with me on my 1 hour walks.
Oh
So
my
it would
gosh,
be
of
like,
course, like shops were closed, so you can even
yeah,
get your pieces at that point.
no,
So you were actually picking things up that people wanted to get rid of, and
that
just having
it
just
was.
doing like a flip over. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And with the whole virus at like its highest heightened, threatened point, then I would just leave them outside for a few days, spray them down with antibacterial. And like after, a couple of days, a week's gone by, I would then clean it up again and start to work on it. Cause I was scared, like I'm actually just taking trash and turning it into treasure at this point. But that's kind of how it all really began. However, my mom, she does this full time back in the States. So I think this was my like subconscious just telling me that I had this within me, that I knew what I was doing, but I didn't realize that I knew how to do it and that I needed to do it and that I could do it.
Mm.
So I think it was just I just needed a sign or just something to happen to tell me that this is like my creative way, that I need to express a bit more. And that's how I kind of fell into it. So
Oh, that's so
yeah.
awesome. I love actually when you just stumble across something. It's
Yeah.
not like you were sitting there and thinking, right, like I can't work, so what can I do to make money? It was just like, this feels fun. It's actually super relaxing and therapeutic.
Mhm.
And I just want to do a little bit more of that. And plus my mom does it, so I can like maybe ask her
Yeah.
some advice. That's so cool. That's so cool. And I already know that you're such a creative person. And I really have to mention it because your creativity doesn't come through your art only, your furniture flipping, but also you're so creative in how you then um, share it with the world. So I'm going to mention it and then I'll let you speak to it a little bit more. So you put your work on Instagram predominantly, right? So you decided to kind of put pictures up there or videos of how you do it and make it a little bit fun in such a beautiful, fun and creative way. And you gained quite a following. So I
Shockingly,
remember
shockingly, yes.
so just to put things into perspective, when we first met in June, I can't remember, June or July. When did you move to Glasgow?
August.
Oh, was it August? Okay. Oh
August,
my.
yes.
So you
Definitely.
moved in August, and I remember you were sharing about your work with me, and you said I put it on Insta, and I looked at Insta, and I was like, wow, she's got 5,000 followers. This is so cool. I was like, who gets 5,000 followers when they just set up their Insta account? Like it takes ages. It takes
Yeah.
years to people to get there, right?
Mhm.
And right now you have 100 and something thousand followers, right? 105 or 102 when I checked a few days ago, but I know it grows by day by thousand or something like that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
I'm I don't have words to describe it because it blows my mind that there's this many people out there that love flipping furniture and like love to, upcycle and whatnot. And I know that there is, and there's so many sustainable people out there. But I didn't know this community even exists until
Mm,
I sort of fell into it. And yeah, Instagram, it's changed my life.
mm,
Instagram's definitely changed my life and for the better. And I feel so blessed. But Instagram is also what motivates me every day through these times. And, knowing that we're going back into another lockdown as of Saturday and just coming out of one, it's just the people that I met on there and the people that I speak to on there. There's good people out there. There really, really is. And to find
mm.
these people that enjoy the same things as you and connect with them, it's just another reason to get up in the morning and just keep at it and go and do better. And yeah, it's changed my life and I love it. So yeah, there's a good group of us now on there that all share the same interests.
That's so cool. But I want you to go even deeper into it. And I want to say, I just noticed that you just kind of almost brushed over this. Oh, I'm so surprised there are so many people who do this thing. I want to say that the way you do it, the way you share your art, the way you engage with your audience, I'm pretty sure that you flipped some people into flipping.
I said, and I'm like, what? Like little me. Um,
Exactly.
it's I don't know. I've always been creative, but like I said before, I've worked in non-creative jobs, and that's where a lot of my unhappiness was held, was because I did enjoy my job and I've always enjoyed my jobs, but I never knew how much I needed to get out of those jobs to actually really find my passion. And this is 100%, no, 1,000,000% my passion. And I know that I love it. Every day I wake up and I'm excited to do this. And like I said before, every day I wake up and these people that I've met online, they motivate me. And it's just, yeah, it's just like a whole group of us now that some have actually inspired me, and some have actually messaged me saying, you know what, I love what you've done, but I would do it this way, and I try it that way and it works. And then vice versa, I might create a video online and post it of how I flip something, and they said, wow, I've never even thought of it doing that way before. So it's a really good, just constructive criticism community. It's a really good place to learn from other people. And yeah, the amount of people that have reached out to me, like I have people, you know, I'm 29 years old. I have people that are in their 60s and they message me and they're like, you are teaching me everything that I've never known about this. And to me, like I look at somebody a bit older than me or a bit elder and I think, you know, they should be teaching me. I should be learning from them. And to hear, you know, people that are retired that want a hobby to do, that look at my work and think, oh my gosh, I'm learning from her. That is just, that's crazy. And it's amazing. It is so amazing, but never in my wildest years would I thought that all my little creativeness and everything that goes on in my head and all the work I put out there, that people actually genuinely are learning a new skill because of the videos that I make. And it's kind of fallen into not only just, you know, flipping furniture to sell, but it's kind of gone down the whole educational and teaching route now, where I realize that I can teach people and I love to inspire people. And that's kind of what I want to do more so now. So yeah.
That's so awesome. I love that you actually, first of all, you learn as you go. You also, you know, you have like you're so humble. You take on other people's advice, even though you're already so successful. But you actually, you know, you take. You ask people what they want to see as well. Like I've seen in some of your videos, you know, you make it really fun, but you also, you know, you take on people's suggestions and you kind of you master your craft as you go. That's really awesome. But not just the craft, but you also expand all the time and develop the whole business, the whole idea into different things, right? So it started as just like art, just doing the furnitures, and then you started really interacting with people. So you're almost like this I don't know, like online persona as well. You know, you have this following, and you're so entertaining the way you do it. You do your little dance, and you know, you shake your booty a little bit, and then you just like do the thing with your dogs, which is so cool, so
Oh
cute.
gosh, they're my helpers. Yeah.
It's just you're creative in so many ways when you do it.
Yeah.
Where do you get those new ideas all the time from? Like what you want to try and what you want to do, and where else can you go, and like what you can literally get away with?
I since the day I started putting my work on the internet, I only did it as a hobby. And I started my page right at the end of June this year. And I've always been myself because I never thought of this turning into a business or acting a certain way or being somebody who I'm not, because this was just a hobby and just me being like, here, look what I created. Look at it. If this inspires you, that's amazing. So since it's turned into something huge all of a sudden, I've always just said, you know, just be yourself and be genuine. And whether that's me acting ridiculous online, but I think more so, I want to make it more fun and more entertaining, because this world has had so much sad happen in it recently. And I think a lot of people use the internet and use my page for inspiration and for a bit of positivity. So I think as long as I'm just true to who I am and just, you know, continue being my silly self, it might just put some like a smile on somebody's face some days. And if somebody messages me and says like, oh, you know, I look forward to your Instagram stories every morning because they inspire me and because you make me laugh. And I just think, oh my gosh, just hearing somebody say that is like the best Christmas gift you could ever get.
Oh,
So,
that's so
yeah,
beautiful.
I know, it makes me tear up. I get emotional because I'm like, oh my God, who are these people?
That's really amazing that you get to impact people this way, especially in, you know, when many people need a little bit of hope at the moment because maybe they don't have this inspiration, they don't have these ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually that was exactly this is the reason why I'm doing this show, and this is the reason why I'm inviting people like yourself who have done something so amazing to inspire people. And I just love that I can share you and you know what you have done, what you're doing with others. So my question is, okay, so you're obviously you have this huge following on Instagram, and I'm guessing that this also brings some negative people into your world, like some negative comments, because people, like, this is the nature of being on the internet and being really visible, that you will always get those so-called haters or people who just love to criticize just because they have nothing else to do. And especially nowadays there's lots of people who have nothing to do, and they also have lots of stress and lots of like negative emotions that are being almost like kind of like suppressed there in a way, because they can't express it in any way, so they go onto internet and they just throw other people's work and other people, right? So do you want to share a little bit, like, have you had any situations that you were feeling actually, gosh, like down, or you
All the time. Not There's so many more positives than there is lows, and that's
Mhm.
because you have to remind yourself that it was my decision to put myself out there
Mhm.
and to put my work out there, and with that comes exposure, and with that comes people's opinions, and that's just how the world works, unfortunately. Sometimes, whether it's good, whether it's bad, that's what happens. So like I said, I didn't realize it would grow into how, like, where it is now. And back before I even created this page, like, I used to, follow celebrities and things of that nature, and people with millions of followers or hundreds of thousands, and you would see them posting sometimes, like, so many nasty comments, like, I'm having, mental health issues and da 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 da. And I never really understood it, because you always think, like, what do you mean? Like, you guys have the world given to you. You're like this huge celebrity. You've done so well for yourself. Like, how could any of this affect you? It's just random people. And now that my following's grown a little bit, I see it.
Just a little bit.
Well, I see it. Yeah. And I receive the abuse.
Mhm.
And I've realized that no matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter if you're putting all the good out into the world or all the bad out into the world, you're going to get criticism. And sometimes it's not even criticism, it is just abuse. It is just horrible things, because, like you said, I think a lot more people, especially now, I've realized that it's actually kind of silly to say this. The times that we're in lockdown, I receive more abuse online. And when we're not in lockdown, I receive less. And I think that's because there's a lot more people. This is just my opinion. There's a lot more people at home stuck in the house, and it might be frustrating. It might be angry. They might not have anybody to speak to, and they might just take their anger out on some random internet person, just voicing their thoughts, whether they're good or they're bad, thinking that that person's not going to see them or not going to read them because they have X amount of followers. People don't realize I'm a real person. I'm in my house talking to you. I walk my dogs every day. My idea of a good day is a dog walk. That's all I do at the moment besides painting. And I see and I read everything. And most people love what I do, and it get inspired. But there is a selective few amount of people that think I ruin furniture. And it's those people who, I get it, like the hard craftsmanship that goes into beautiful antiques and, pieces that you can't find anymore. And I totally get that. And those are the pieces that I won't touch, because I know what goes behind the scenes back in the day and how much effort was put into those. But my whole, I guess, vibe and business is based on giving a new life to old pieces, worn pieces, pieces that need fixing, pieces that have dents and scratches and broken legs and wonky drawers. But obviously the internet doesn't see what I see. They just see a photo of something and automatically criticize. But if they were to see things in person, I think a lot of that would be lessened.
Yeah.
So yeah, going back on the negativeness, it happens. And there are some days where I've let some comments really upset me. And it's changed the way I do things, which it shouldn't, though. I should still be true to who I am and still put out there what I've done since day one. And once I realize that I'm letting that comment affect me so much that it makes me go in a different direction, I just have to stop myself and say, Shay, what are you doing? Like, that does not matter. Their opinion does not matter at all. Get back on track, do what you love to do. And that's that. And that's what you just have to do it. And it's so much easier said than done, just to, ignore ignore the negativity. But one negative comment resonates in your head a lot longer than one positive comment. And it's true.
I heard that so many times from people who actually have like really big following. And I actually had a conversation. It's not posted yet. It's going to be posted actually in a couple of days. But I had a conversation with a Scottish comedian who's now like known like internationally, and he says, that one negative comment can trump all the positive comments.
Yeah.
And it can get you down. He said he used to be like this, and now he doesn't get off on the good comments, but he doesn't also care about the bad comments. He appreciates the good ones,
Yeah.
but he doesn't he doesn't rely on them, because I think it's so easy especially in the era of the internet or of the social media, getting all the likes and all the love on the internet. It can get addictive, almost like you're waiting for it to come your way and make you feel better, right? But if you get a little bit more neutral,
it messes.
And I take it with time, you just stop caring so much. Is this true for you, or what would you say is true for you, or you're not there yet, you're getting there?
I'm a very positive person, and I don't let negativity upset me really ever. Mm-hmm. But because of this, it has a bit more recently. Like I just said, I just try to get back on track, push it away, and just not focus on it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, it is upsetting to hear things, whether what they think is true or not. It still makes you double think of what your next move is going to be and how you can progress and do better. Or if you don't even have to do that, if you can just like stay on the own path that you've been given and everything you're doing is fine. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to ignore it now, because more so it's just nonsense, and it's just hurtful things that have nothing to do with the type of work I do. It's just people that need to get some sort of anger out of their system, and I get that. Mm-hmm. And I always say to people, if anybody ever messages me something nasty or leaves a comment, I just say, thank you for your opinion. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you. And that's just
that's just so beautiful. Kill them with kindness.
Well, yeah, but it's true. Like, if somebody's hurting that bad where they need to go ahead and put somebody else down to make them feel better, or just to feel like they've done something or accomplished something, they might just need somebody to talk to. And I could be that person for them. If you want, go ahead, put me down, get what you want to say out there. But once you're done doing that, let's talk something positive. Like, what's bothering you? What am I doing that's hurting you so much? What about me painting furniture upsets you so much? And then we'll discuss that. And I've actually said that to a few people, and we got into a full long conversation about things, and we're okay. We're good. They got what they needed to say off their chest, and we're good. So
I love it.
You need to say, like, I'm here for you. Like, what's wrong, and just get to the point blank. So yeah.
I love it, Shay. Like, you're also doing therapy work, and it looks. Who knows what's gonna happen next year, right?
We're painting on one hand and then on the phone. Sure. So how's your day going? Yeah.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So you're at the moment you're working from home, right?
Yes.
So how's your husband having like a workshop at home? Because obviously that's your space where you're doing your work, but you also live there and your husband lives there. How do you guys like?
He is the most supportive person. He really is so supportive. But like, we live in a flat, and because of lockdown, I could have gotten a studio elsewhere. But because of lockdown, it just didn't go to plan, and it wasn't in the cards. And I think a lot of that has to do with just, the uncertainty of what's going to happen, people having to pay rent, people having to, even if I would be allowed to go to the studio outside during these lockdowns, and I would really, really hate to not be able to go to a place where I need to go to work. So from right now, I am working at home. I have an inside studio that we've converted, but it needs to move out. It's getting to the point where actually we're past the point of working from home. I need to be somewhere else now, but because of situations, we're just making the best out of a bad one. He's fine with it, but if he trips over another piece of furniture, he's not going to be happy. My hallway is like a shrine of like graveyard furniture that needs to be flipped. It's horrible.
I was going to ask you, like, where do you keep all the furniture?
So I have storage. I have a storage unit, and then I have like a big walk-in closet, and that's like where I neatly stack my graveyard furniture, and I put them in order of like flip order I'm going to do them in. So I just pull the next one out, flip it. Obviously it sells, and then I do the next one. So that's my organization at the moment, but it's not okay. we're getting through it. We're living through it right now, so it's good.
Mm. So I'm guessing because of the way you share your art, your furniture sell really quickly, I'm guessing, right? Like you always, I remember, like I know I see your videos and your pictures, and you always say, this is my new piece, it's ready for sale, and then like a day later it's like sold already. So they go really quickly, right?
They thankfully they do, yeah, and I feel very blessed and like humbled by that. I mean, thank you if anybody's watching this ever bought a piece from me. That's amazing. They do, yes, but I think I don't even know. I think a lot of people now are more exposed and seeing a lot more upcycled pieces of furniture and seeing how sustainable it is. So they are buying used pieces rather than going to IKEA or going, buying flat pack furniture or buying brand new. And especially during a pandemic, you're not only buying a sustainable piece of furniture, but you're supporting a small business. And me selling one piece makes my entire day. And I'm sure when IKEA sells one piece, nobody's doing a little dance behind the scenes and, screaming, ah! So yeah, it's amazing. And I feel really, really blessed for that. So I hope more people will buy used because, used furniture is amazing. And it's better made than half of the new stuff nowadays. So
Oh yeah,
the
definitely.
quality is great. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just put so much love into the flips. Your furnitures look so beautiful, so
Thanks.
beautiful. The way you paint them, the little like gold details you put through
Yeah.
the paint. Oh, it's just really really artistic and
You.
really really amazing.
Oh, I name each of my pieces.
I've noticed that as well.
So my husband's like I'll talk to somebody on the phone. I'm like, yeah, she's for sale, or yeah, he's almost finished. And he's like, that sounds so weird. Like,
Who are you talking about?
yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'm talking about Poppy. And he's like, Poppy? I'm like, yeah, the pink little buffet armoire over there. And he's like, wow, that sounds very strange on a phone call if you don't know who you are and what you do. So I name them because it helps me visualize what I'm going to do with them. So say for instance, you have just a little chest of drawers and it old, it's really old, it needs to be flipped. I'll look at it and the first thing I'll do is I'll name it. I'll decide whether it's
So you do it before you flip it. I love it. Love it.
This is part of my whole process. I'll look at it and I'll think, okay, is it a he, she, it, her? What is it? What is it? Let's first visualize what it's going to be. Then once I pick a name, say we pick, I don't know, William. I then think, okay, what sort of clothes would a person named William wear? Like if I vision in my head, William to me, for example, would be a posh little old man down in the south of England who drinks his tea at a cafe. He wears a tartan little jacket, a cute little hat, and has a cane. That's William. So then I'll think, okay, how do I incorporate that with a piece of furniture? If I want a cute little tartan jacket on him, I might go for like a navy and then maybe have like some brown details around the edge to make it look like it's a jacket that's, kind of covering the piece. And that's how I flip my furniture. So it all comes down to making them as an individual, seeing like what the personality would be, what their name would be, what that person would wear. And that's how I pick and choose the colors that I'm going to use for it. So yeah, my husband thinks I'm a bit crazy.
No, it's not crazy at all. You know what? It's actually so cool. And I think that's what makes your art so interesting, because you really like, it's almost like, I mean, your creativity personified to me, but you also personify your pieces. And this is like just so interesting that it's not just painting furnitures. It's actually like you make this piece of wood almost like come alive.
Yeah, it needs to. I mean, a lot of these pieces as well, if it wasn't for me and other upcyclers out there, it would be in the bin. And to see all those, antiques and, old craftsmanship just be put in the bin to be what? Wood gets burned. I don't know what happens with it. But to see that, it's not nice. So if you can save something and visualize like the beauty within it, I think that's amazing. So I try. I definitely try. Plus, I feel like when I talk to people about furniture and why I name it as well, I always say to them, most of your furniture stays with you a very long time.
Mm.
Furniture becomes heirlooms and it gets passed down to your kids. It goes off to college with your kids. it gets passed down to their kids. And if you have a name of something, it's part of your family. I mean, I moved around everywhere in the UK, and the pieces that I have been with me through all my house moves, you know? So you probably spend more time at home with your furniture than you do your significant other at times. So it deserves a name. It does.
Such a good point. Your dogs and your furniture.
Literally,
And then comes your husband,
we're
right?
all one family here.
I love it. Well, talking about moving, because you have been moving a lot. You said you lived all over the UK. And so how do you find it? You know, you move to new places a lot, and it's because of your husband's work, right? Like your husband is a professional footballer, so you move. How often? How often do you move? Every few months, every few years? How does it happen?
I guess there's no time you do know if you're going to move or not. It just happens. And that's the scary thing, is because as soon as you start a new job and you get settled, you could get a phone call one day saying, hey, you're going here. And it's a matter of packing your bags and getting down there as soon as you can to get started. So I think this is our 13th or 14th move. I might be wrong. It might be 15th. It's been a lot in 6 years.
In 6 years, wow.
It's been a lot, yeah. So to also start a job and a profession that I can pick up and take with me anywhere, that has been like the ultimate goal in my life as well. Because as soon as you get settled somewhere, there's nothing worse than having to say bye to your job or bye to your coworkers and then think, oh my gosh, what's next for me? You know, what's next in moving? I'm leaving everything that I just settled down behind. All the new friends I made, I'm letting them go, and you're off again. So to have this little venture start up as well, you know, I can pick up my paintbrushes and my paint and my little studio and take it anywhere I need to go. So I think that's another little blessing in disguise.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, you get to you get to do it anywhere. Because like, okay, ideally you want to have a workshop, but you can actually work from home or from the garden. So you can basically do it anywhere. And you get to take William, the chest of drawer, with you.
I bubble wrap him and he's in the car. Let's go. Oh, yeah.
Love it. How are you finding it though, kind of socially, when you move and you don't have, again, like you move to a new place, you don't have your kind of support network, you don't have your family there, your group of friends, obviously you have your husband there. How are you finding moving a lot in
the hardest move was to get the courage to leave America and move over here. That took some gut. And I think once I got that out of my system and realized, wow, Shayna, you just moved to a different country, let alone continent, let alone other part of the world. I think all these other little moves now are just like, they're just a piece of cake, because I think it was just getting the courage to commit and, you know, take that leap and say, right, mom, dad, I love you. Bye, old dog. Bye, old house. Bye, my friends. I still love you all, still talk to you all, but to move somewhere new that I didn't know a single person. All of y'all have different languages over here, which is really crazy as well. That was hard, but these little ones are okay. It's never easy moving in general, and it's never easy meeting somebody, you know, a neighbor or a friend or a coworker. And after a few short months, you know, you're moving again. So I do think soon, or within me, I hope, I pray about it, that, you know, we can just settle for a while and I can really dig my roots into the ground and just like build my business more here, more wherever we go as well, rather than just, you know, living out of boxes sometimes. So that would be a dream. Yeah, that would be nice.
I can imagine. So where would you like it to be if you were to actually just settle in one place? Where would you like it to be? Glasgow? I know you mentioned to me that like this home feels like the most homely out of all homes you've had. Why is it? Why is it? What makes it so?
We used to live here 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had to move to England. And when we found out we were coming back up here, like this little fire in me ignited again, because I was familiar with it. And I had a lot of friends up here. And I'm a city girl at heart. So to have the city and the countryside so close together in a beautiful country like Scotland, oh my gosh. Yeah, sign me up any day. I loved it. But I love it here. There's something about it. Scottish people in general, I mean, everybody in the UK is friendly, but Scottish people in general are so friendly. They're super, super nice. And I feel safe here. The weather, it's okay. It's growing on me. But I think because something and life brought us back to where we used to be, it's a sign that I do enjoy it here.
So if you were to choose, would it be here, or would you still maybe go to a warmer place or somewhere? Like, is there anywhere that you really, really like in the world, or
my dream place to live?
if you could choose?
If I could choose, it definitely would be somewhere warm, very, very warm. Seasonal depression is real, y'all. Like when it's raining every day and dark, it takes a toll on you. I'm taking my vitamin D every day because there's no sunshine recently. But yeah, somewhere warm. I don't know. I want to see more of the world. I would love to maybe go to Spain, Italy, somewhere on the south of France, somewhere just beautiful where it's just, I don't know, somewhere with a totally different language, because I want to challenge myself and be put somewhere to learn a new language and to be seen that the only way to fit in here really, really well is just to speak how they speak and to just become more of like a local. And I think here it is new to me, it's foreign, but everybody speaks English. So to be put somewhere where it's like, okay, go learn French, and then just boom, like just challenge myself. So we'll see. There's never, you never know what's going to happen. Life's crazy. We never expected this to happen with the pandemic. Come on. So
Exactly.
never know what's going to happen.
Cool. Cool. So tell me, what have you learned this year? Not just skills wise, but also what have you learned about you, about people, about the world in general, that you wouldn't have learned if the pandemic hasn't happened, if you weren't maybe in the lockdown?
What I've learned, oh gosh, there's a lot. I think the number one thing I've learned is that I'm okay, meaning it is okay to be by yourself. And the only person you'll ever have is yourself to stick with you and to take care of, in your health and your partner, if you have your partner as well. But I was so worried about going into lockdown, and because like you said earlier, me being social and like meeting people, I was like, gosh, like what am I going to do stuck inside all the time? But you do learn and you do adapt that your own best company can be you. And we're good, right?
Okay, we're back.
Sorry about that. But yeah, just realizing that your own best company is going to be yourself, and if you can get through something such as a pandemic and find any positivity out of it to create something new, or not even that, just to try something new and not be scared and see what you like really, really have within you, I think that's just amazing. It's also like taking, I don't know, this sounds silly to say, but taking like a leap of faith in a way. When lockdown did happen, I was put onto furlough, so I still had a job. But after I found this like little passion, little hobby of mine that I really, really wanted to do, I quit my job and I put all my eggs into this basket and I gave it a go. And I think it was just finding the courage just to say, listen, I'm going to try something totally new here and just really focus on it. I think that was something that I never would have had it within me if this situation didn't really happen, because I never would have given it a go, I don't think. So everything definitely happens for a reason. Definitely happens for a reason. And yeah, right now in life, it's not most fun at times, but there is fun within it, and we can find positive things and how to stay busy. And like I said, try new things that we never thought we could do before. So it's definitely taught me that I am stronger than I think. I am okay to be alone, and I have these things within me that I never even knew I had before. So we all learn about ourselves, and it just takes times like these where you can just really focus on that. So
nice. Yeah, beautiful discoveries. Beautiful discoveries. I actually, from having already a few chats with people, I actually heard that people that this year, instead of slowing things down for them, it accelerated certain things that they were within them that maybe they would have done one day, or maybe never even, that maybe were kind of percolating somewhere there, maybe in their like 5-year plan or so, but actually this year just pushed it. And it was like a best trial to just go and do it and see what happens.
100%. It was. And like I said, when you're by yourself, when you're unsure of what's next, you don't go into panic mode, but I think that's what makes you stronger. because you find something within you that you just think, listen, like, we're going to get through this, and I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to find a way to do it. And I think finding this little hobby was my guide into getting through the rest of lockdown, and to not worry so much, and just to think, you know, just let time pass, let this whole thing pass a bit, and just focus on something that makes you happy. So I've done this, and I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I said, listen, like, leave a job that makes you unhappy. Not unhappy, sorry. Leave a job that doesn't allow you to express your creativity, and try something that actually does. Because I read a quote once, and it said, you're never going to enjoy your life until you find a job that is your passion, so it doesn't make you feel like you're actually working a job. And that's kind of what I've done here. So
Oh, that's so beautiful. So
yeah.
beautiful. One thing that I really loved in what you said was, what I picked up from it is you didn't worry about the how at the point where you had these ideas. You just knew what you wanted to do. And I think that's what actually stops people very often, because they have this idea, but straight away they start thinking about, like, well, but how am I going to do it? Like, I have no idea. And then you get wrapped up in all these hows, and then you just start to discourage yourself from even trying, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you actually just figured this out as you went, and that was so cool.
And like you said as well, like, people, they get discouraged because they think of, okay, well, maybe if it doesn't work, then what? Well, you worry about that later on, if that's going to even be a worry. And I could have stopped myself thinking, oh gosh, Shay, like, don't quit your job because you're not going to have a backup plan, you know, if it doesn't go through, da 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 da. And you're right, it may not go through, and I'm glad it did. I'm glad it worked out. But you're only your worst enemy when you stop yourself from doing something that you think could actually be something really, really good, like a really good result in the end of it. So that's just, if I could give advice to anybody, it's, if you have like anything creative, or if you've been wanting to do something for a long time that you can do from home, just do it. Just try it. Just try it. Because literally, if you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't try, you'll never know. And that's just what you have to live by, I think. And there's now no better time to try something from home or try something new when you have, the world's given you this time to do so. So make the best of it. Definitely.
Oh my goodness, yeah, don't waste this opportunity, because you're probably never gonna have it in your life, right? Well, fingers crossed.
I hope there's never another pandemic, but because the Earth's given us this now, like, make the best of it, you know? Yeah.
And I also loved what you said when you shared this quote about finding your passion and just going with it. You know, it just reminds me of the quote, and I'm not going to remember the whole thing because it's a little bit longer quote, but basically it says something like, you know, don't don't try to change the world, just make the thing that makes you come alive. And like, I'm totally butchering it, this quote, but basically the meaning of this quote is like, when you find something that makes you feel alive, which is your passion, as you said, then, you know, you automatically start to light up other people and change the world just by doing that, you know. Whereas I think so many people look out there, what can they do to change the world or to change things, instead of just focusing on their passion, because everything has something within themselves that is just for them to do. It was like, some people can call it purpose, some people can say it's your calling, but you know, when you actually connect with this, you start to do the thing you're meant to be doing out in the world, and you start to then inspire people and spread, you know, the goodness. Like it's got a ripple effect, literally, when you just come alive doing the thing you love, right?
Especially, and that's another thing is people are so worried of just boom, how to get there now, and they want to do something so bad, but nothing happens overnight. And you just have to worry about focusing on, like you said, what makes you happy in your passion. And once people see how passionate you are about something, that's what's inspiring. People don't want to see somebody faking something or just forcing something to happen, but it's just when you're your authentic, genuine self, people can see how passionate you are, how happy you are doing it. That's where the inspiration comes from, because they know that what you're doing is real, and what you're doing has given you this. And it just, it like, it's like an imaginary, like, I don't know, sparkle that comes off of you, or people are like, wow, I can see she really likes doing that, or I can see he really likes doing that. I might give it a go myself. And then it's just like a chain reaction, like you said, it's a ripple effect. So yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Definitely.
So what are you looking forward to in 2021? What's the plan? What's your, I don't know, vision you've got for 2021?
I have a lot. Yesterday, actually, last night, I'm reading this book at the moment. It's called, I might get the title wrong, sorry. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And the title sounds a bit like deceiving because it's not really about that, but it's more about how to understand people and why they say and do the things the way they do, and why they do certain actions. And it's written by this author called Dale Carnegie, and I think he's a genius because he just gets it, and he just speaks it to you. That's so simplistic, but it really resonates in your head and you remember it. And it's all about how not to criticize people, not to condemn people, and always reinforce positivity, because that's when people learn the most. People learn more on their positiveness rather than when you frown upon them. They'll do better when you reinforce positivity rather than reinforce negativity. And I think going into this next year, as we talked about before with the negative comments and things like that, I'm really going to focus on why people say the things that they say, because I know there's a deeper meaning behind it all, or something's not right, whether they want to chat or not. Like I said to you earlier, like I want to be there for people, and I think that does help. And just not to worry so much about what everybody else is thinking about my work, because I have to remember I did this as a hobby, and I did this for fun. And if I stay true to what I do, I know within myself that I can have great things, come out of this and turn into this. So as long as I'm doing what I'm doing now, I think for 2021 is all just about, gosh, I have so many things written down, but I think the main thing I want to do is I really want to get more into teaching. I really want to get more into making my videos more tutorial based and more, really simplistic, step-by-step, more so than what I do now. And I just want to keep inspiring people. And I think people, they might look at me and think, okay, there's just some random girl that paints furniture. What she does is really, really great, and that's amazing, but I can't do that. And I'm like, yes, you can do that. Anybody can do this. And you saying you can't do that right there is what's stopping you from achieving amazing things and from putting your eggs in a basket and giving something a go. So I really do want to, just focus more on the teaching thing, let people know that anybody can do this. I want to show them the products that they can use to achieve certain things, kind of what I'm doing now. But I just think, like I said, if you stay honest and true to who you are, good things will happen. So I really don't want to change too much, which is a crazy thing to say, but I just want to be authentic.
Nice. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful, Shay. Right. So if people want to find your work online, where can they find you?
On my Instagram account. I think it's my main account.
The one we mentioned. Yeah, so how can they find you on Instagram? What's the name of?
My Instagram account is The Flipped Piece, flipped furniture. Get it? And I also have a website, which is theflippiece.com, www.theflippiece.com. And that's where I post all of my finished pieces on there, so people can purchase them if they like, or just to go ahead and take a look at them. And yeah, so hopefully I'll have my YouTube up and running soon, where you can see more fun videos. Oh, that's another thing for 2021. Sorry, the mailman's here. And is to kind of do more teaching that way on YouTube as well, and connect to a different audience. So that's a little focus too.
Oh, nice. That's going to be big as well. I can already see a huge following on YouTube as well for you.
No, are you though? I need to keep my dances to a minimum.
No, the dances really are so awesome. This is what made you so big, I think, on Insta, because it's so fun. People love to see fun things.
Yeah, definitely.
So are you looking to do courses as well, or is it going to be just tutorials through your videos, like on Instagram or on YouTube?
I think tutorials more so. And right now I am doing live beginners painting classes on Zoom. Oh. And the reason why I don't want to do recorded videos is because there's less personal touch there. I like the live, and I like to keep my classes small, because I like people to ask questions, and I like people to be in the class listening to a question and thinking, wow, I never even thought of that. I'm so glad she asked that. And that's why I like people to go ahead and do live things so they can bounce off of one another, learn different things that they may never even thought of. And I like to go ahead and directly answer them, because it's all well and good, watching a tutorial on YouTube or watching a video on Instagram, but you have so many questions about what you've just seen, and you're not going to get that direct answer unless you're speaking to the person that created that themselves. So these little classes that I've been doing have been really beneficial for not myself to continue working on teaching, but also for people to learn. And when I see people that have taken my class create something afterwards, there's no better feeling than seeing that somebody took what you told them to do and made it come to life. And it's awesome. It's beautiful.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah,
nice.
I really enjoy that.
Love it. I will post a link to your website underneath this video, so anyone who wants to find you, they can find you there. Thank you so much, Shay, for your time today and for sharing your genius, your brilliance, and your creativity with me and with everyone. I'm super inspired. I learned new things, and it's just so beautiful to hang out with you here as well.
Are you going to start flipping furniture yourself now, yeah?
Oh my goodness, I'm tempted now.
I'll be right next door if you need me. Any help, I'll be here.
Thank you. Yes, I've got my teacher next door.
Just knock on the door. Shay, how do I do this? And I'll just yell back. It'll be great. It'll be easy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful Christmas and all the best for New Year. And I really look forward to seeing what you're going to create.
Oh, you too. Thank you, Basha. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Shay. And for everyone who's watching us, thank you for watching. I hope you found something really cool, inspiring for yourself. And happy flipping if you start flipping.
Yes. Welcome to the community.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.